Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Crypto Warehouse special. We are live. It is 11 a.m., February the 20th, I believe. Excuse me. We are fast approaching the 100,000 subscribers. We are at 96,500, 3,500 subscribers to grow, and we will be at the magical six-figure number. A big thank you to everybody that's joined us in chat today already. So good morning to Mags, good morning to Hidden Agendas. I hope you're both doing exceptionally well. Remember, I am trying to keep on top of any and all scammers. So if you post links into chat, you will be removed. So please bear that in mind. We are trying to keep on top of them, but of course we have a show to run. It's very difficult to do the show and keep on top of them all the time. But if I do see them, I will ban them. So make sure to say hello in chat. Hello, Fran. How are you? Good morning, Fran. I hope you're doing very well this morning. I am trying to keep on top of people. It is difficult, but never mind. We will carry on. So if you're in chat, say hello and we will give you a shout out. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, first of all, we're going to go through the markets, then the X-Files. These are now two staples of the show. Then we're going to talk about the pre-halving dip. Is there going to be one? What do I think? And then we're going to talk about Vitalik, or Vit AI Lick. He talks about AI tokens. He's very bullish. I'm very bullish. I've been talking about my AI tokens that I hold for a very long time. So I think 2024 is going to be the year of AI rather than the year of gaming. Still think we're too soon. Maybe next year. Who knows? Then we're going to talk about SUI, $600 million TVL, as far as I'm aware. Japan has opened the door to allowing its finance companies to hold crypto. Big news. Japan, top 10 economy, huge investors in tech. They have their own metaverse minister, I believe, who is the advanced tech minister. We're going to talk about the 10 mistakes, or I don't know why it says mistack. Let me just go and edit that for a second. 10 mistakes that traders make in crypto. We're going to go through these, and I'm going to give you my opinion on whether they're mistakes, whether it's human nature, lots of things which can affect your decision-making process. Now, hopefully, that has now been fixed. Rather than saying mistack, it should say mistakes. So that's where we are. That's what we're going to go through today. And of course, if we get a chance, we're going to go through the quiz at the end of the show. I am trying to get these shows to be 1 hour. They do run over an hour and 15, an hour and 20. It's a lot of people's time, and I appreciate you spending your time with me, but I'm not going to abuse it and run the show for an hour and a half. So let's get into it. So the market cap, still just under $2 trillion. If you go to CoinGecko, we're at 2.05 trillion. So depending on how many coins you include, you can be just at that $2 trillion mark. Volume, again, we're not in the heat of the bull run. The volume is still not as high. It's not over 100 billion. That's my indicator that it's a very bullish day. Dominance, Bitcoin dominance has come down a tad. But as you can see, ETH dominance has surged, primarily down to the ETF. The ETF news that potentially we could see an ETF, an Ethereum ETF in May. We could see it in October. My personal opinion, and again, it's not financial advice, is that we will not be seeing the Ethereum ETF until next year. But I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. Bitcoin is coming in at 51,840. It's having a bit of a pump. Remember, yesterday the US markets were closed. No trading of the ETFs yesterday. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, there were no ETF buying. So today, being a 4-day week, I would expect Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to compile 5 days worth of trading into 4. So I'm expecting a bullish few days. On top of that, something that I haven't included is there is a whale, as he called Mr. 10 or something like that he's called. a whale was buying up the Bitcoin over the weekend as well. So he's trying to, or she is trying to front run the ETFs by buying it on the dip when the ETFs aren't trading. So we'll try and see, maybe we'll fit that into a segment. There's lots of things that we don't put into the show that we should do. I still want to talk about Sora, which is the new AI release, which has helped WorldCoin pump Sam Altman's in there. Didn't have a chance to put that into the show today because there's too much to talk about. Now, 24-hour gainers. Filecoin, remember over the weekend it was announced that Filecoin and Solana were partnering together. That's really helped the price of Filecoin. Arweave is up, Seacoin is up, Casper is up, Hedera is up, Conflux. And ApeCoin for me, ApeCoin, remember, has now migrated. It's not on Ethereum, directly on Ethereum anymore. It's moved to a layer 2, so ApeCoin should pump this year. I did pick ApeCoin for one of my top picks for 2024, simply because it was the worst performing coin of 2023. So I expect 2024 to be a good year for ApeCoin, especially with the metaverse coming out the other side. So keep an eye on that. 24-hour losers then. Helium, Ronin is down, Say is down, Blur, The Graph. I mean, some of these are profit taking. That's something to bear in mind. When you see a coin drop 5-6%, it's normally a profit take. Nothing to worry about. It happens to most coins over the cycles. You'll see coins lose 5 or 10%. But don't forget, in the last 30 days, Helium's up 46%, Ronin's up 54%, The Graph is up 60%. You know, Pyth is up 78% year to date. WorldCoin is up 94% today. 176% up, or 187% up. I'm not a fan of WorldCoin. I've made a video about it explaining why I don't like it. And I'm never going to talk about WorldCoin on the news because I think it's anti-democracy. Let's just leave it as that. So that's where we are with the charts. Sorry, with the prices. X-Files. This is where we can really start to get into the news of the day. Remember, whatever you're doing, smash the like button. Say hello in chat. Comment on the poll. The poll today is, are we going to have a pump today? I think the poll is today. So IT Tech, a really good channel to follow, has highlighted what's going to happen this week in crypto. So the Pixel launch happened yesterday. That's now trading on both of the exchanges. February the 20th, which is today, StarkNet is being listed on major exchanges. The Alt airdrop is available for Celestia tier stakers. That's a big one. Remember, Celestia is pumped simply because, or in my opinion, simply because there's so many airdrops on that chain at the minute. We don't need to go through each one of them. You've got the AVAX token unlock, which we spoke about very briefly yesterday. The AG layer. Now, the AG layer is something I have been talking about as well. The Matic AG layer is going live. It's an aggregation of multiple blockchains to create a single liquidity pool, but each blockchain remains autonomous. So it's creating a virtual pool with atomic swaps that allows you to go seamlessly across multiple chains. It's a big deal, a very big deal. And that's pretty much it. From there, it's just a very nice way to display the information. I'm a big fan. There's lots happening this week. There's lots happening in most weeks. So it's too difficult as well to expect anybody in crypto to just know everything that's going on. If you can get a gist of 40%, 30% of what's going on in crypto, you're doing exceptionally well. So don't sit there thinking I've got huge, massive knowledge gaps in my information. It's impossible. It's impossible. You think about it. There's 20 different layer ones. There's thousands of different layer 2s and different apps out there. You can't possibly know everything. So having a broad idea of what's happening in the market is probably the best most people will ever do. And if they tell you they know exactly what's going on in crypto, they're lying. Now, I like this idea. I think this is a really clever idea, and I'm going to be participating. So on the halving day, we should all buy $21 worth of Bitcoin. Now, it says April the 20th. There isn't a set in stone date because of the way that the blocks are produced. Depending on when you look at the countdown timer, it could be April the 9th, April the 16th, April the 20th. But the principle is that you buy $21 worth of Bitcoin on the halving day. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure that I participate. We did this about 2 years ago, I think, where we all agreed to buy $10 of Bitcoin on the same day. And believe it or not, the price went up. So it can have an effect if 10, 20, 50,000 people all buy Bitcoin on the same day. That positive sentiment can then lead to other people joining in as well. So it does move the price, not the direct purchase, obviously, of $10 or $21, but the sentiment behind it. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll probably remind you all nearer the time. And if you want to join in, fantastic. Now, another good commentator to watch is, of course, Plan B. Plan B is the man behind his stock to flow model, where he talks about the value and price of Bitcoin. Now, he gets mocked every time it gets to the bottom of the green and blue area, green and blue area, green and blue area, because it falls below the average price. So people always say he's wrong. But he's been right in every cycle so far. His prediction for next year is about $400,000 per Bitcoin by the top of the bull run. That's his prediction. He was right in 2021. He was right in 2017. He was right in 2014, and he was right in 2010, 2011. So is he going to be wrong in 2025? Maybe 2026? I don't know. I'm not going to put my neck on the line and say we're at $400,000. It's a huge pump. It's an 8x from where we are now. I think that's going to be a push, but he's got his model. Other people have their models. Other people have their price predictions. The point is that you get a rounded education yourself on what people say, and then you can come to your own conclusion. Don't lock yourself into an echo chamber where you listen to one person all the time, because that one person could be wrong. Listen to multiple people. Even some of the outlandish people have some interesting things to say and have research behind them. So Plan B is predicting $400,000. His chart says he's going to be accurate. However, if you follow the law of diminishing returns, maybe we come in under, maybe we come in at 200, as much as I'll say on that matter. Now, the pre-halving and post-halving. I made a video for the OG members a few weeks ago where I looked at the pre-halving and post-halving price of Bitcoin. And there are movements before and after the halving. And my conclusion was that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the price is just before or just after the halving, because we should be multiples higher by the next all-time high. So whether we are at 55,000, 60,000 at the halving and we drop to 45, whether we go to 45 before we move up before the halving is irrelevant. What's relevant is where we are at the end of 2025. However, I looked at this information and these dips are not as bad or not as deep as people are making out. And remember, the further we go through these cycles, the shallower the bottom and the top of the market becomes. Diminishing returns applies to both the dips and the peaks. So if we're looking at Bitcoin and we're saying, where are we going to go to? A lot of commentators are saying all kinds of prices, $25,000, $35,000. And in my opinion, that's not going to happen. So let's go through this first. Throughout the history, the increase in Bitcoin's value has typically unfolded within the same year as a halving event, with the uptick being a combination of pre- and post-event movements. In January, a post addressing this matter attracted 1,000 upvotes, making it a hot topic. Historically speaking, there is always a dip before the halving. Does this have to do with miners? It just seems counterintuitive because everyone and their mother knows the price goes up after the halving. Now, again, did we have the dip? We're going to look at the chart in a second, but did we have the dip? Going all the way back to 2012, we went from $13 to $8. That was a 40% decrease. The subsequent halving, we hit $766. We came down to $660. That's only a 13.8% drop. This one here, we went from 7.9 all the way down to 4.8. That was a 38% drop. But of course, these dips are nothing compared to where the all-time high is. So the possibility of a pre-halving price drop remains, though the value could also rise following the reward cut. The dip will happen, then people will think, okay, the dip is done, time to load up, then a harder double dip. Again, I can't see that happening. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is that we've already had a fairly substantial dip in Bitcoin, and that happened during the ETF launch. We've already had a dip. So if we very quickly go over here, could we say that this is the pre-halving dip? We came all the way down to, oh no, that wasn't the dip, sorry. This is the dip. I'm on the wrong chart. There we go. So, I was thinking we came way lower than 50,000. Right, okay, here's the chart. So, was this the dip? Did we have this dip earlier because of the ETF? That's the question. Now, if you... I can never remember how to do this dip. Never mind. I give up. Okay, we went from 49,000 all the way down at the bottom, which was about 39,500. Arguably a 20% dip. So was this the pre-halving dip? Possibly. Now, I said a few days ago that this could almost be classified as a bull market support drop, where we came so far down to the bull market support band, and look what we've done since. We've absolutely rocketed up. So in my opinion, we've had one 20% dip. If we have another 20% dip from 52,000, let's call that an $11,000 drop. Where would that take us to? Well, 11,000 off 52,000 is 41,000. That is the bull market support band as of today. So if we do have another correction, I think 42,000 is the bottom, if we have one. Now, as I've said before at the start of the show, this is a 4-day week in America this week, which means 5 days of trading has been compressed into 4. I am expecting a Bitcoin pump between now and the beginning of Friday, and I think maybe even Friday will push us even further up. Remember, 10,000 Bitcoin a day are being taken off the market. So whatever we think is going to happen with the pre-halving dip, post-halving dip, you have to remember that Bitcoin is now having to appreciate in value to a point where demand and supply find an equilibrium. That's what people have to try and understand, in my opinion. If we didn't have the ETF and we had traditional whales and retail and ourselves buying Bitcoin, then of course we're not going to be at 52,000 right now. We might be back at in the 40s, maybe even the $35,000 range. By the halving, if we were at that, that would give us a target of maybe $140,000 per Bitcoin. But we don't have that anymore. We have the ETFs. The ETFs are shunting Bitcoin forward, and irrespective of what we think is going to happen, and I know everybody says this time it's different, and I know I talk about the Ethereum ETF, I talk about Ethereum being proof of stake, not proof of work anymore in this cycle. Bitcoin has the biggest successful ETF launch in the history of ETFs. Bigger than gold, bigger than everything else. It's blown everything out of the water. And it's got BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, the other one, I can't remember the name of it, behind it. VanEck behind it. So you can't suddenly shove 5, 10, 15, 20 billion dollars into Bitcoin and not expect it to ignore all the charts. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think the price of Bitcoin has to appreciate to a value where the supply of Bitcoin meets the demand, i.e., we need to push the price up to a certain point where this 10,000 Bitcoin a day being taken out comes down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,000 a day. Remember, there's only 900 new Bitcoin a day, and in April, that's going to drop to 450. So this is going to have a massive supply shock, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it, but don't be surprised if we are at $70,000 by June. Don't be surprised if we're at $60,000 by April. But if we do have a retracement when we got to 60,000, and it is a 20% retracement, that's only going to bring us down to a little bit below where we are today. So it's all well and good worrying and saying, well, I'm going to keep my money on the side. That's great. But remember, there's people expecting $25,000 Bitcoin. There's people expecting $10,000 Bitcoin who still have cash on the side, and we're at $52,000. So if you hold on to your $1,000 and the price of Bitcoin does this, and then there's a correction and it does this, well, your $1,000 that you could have bought Bitcoin today at $52,000, you're suddenly having to buy it at $60,000 after the correction. So I understand people looking at history, and I agree. History should not be ignored. We are in a cycle. We do have a 4-year cycle. But remember, when people say we're going to have a correction, we are not going to do this. There's too much money coming into the market for Bitcoin to do that. There has to be a black swan event. That's the only way we're going to bring the price down. I don't know if we're ever going to see a $40,000 Bitcoin again. I don't know if we're ever going to see $38,000 Bitcoin again. I think, and again, it's my opinion, it's not financial advice, I think we are going to go on some kind of run like this towards the halving, and then I think we're going to have a correction, and I think that correction is going to bring us down, maybe find support at a fib level, maybe find 55,000, maybe come down to this line here, and then we go back up. Now, why would you sit on the side here when the price is never going to come down to the price you think it's going to go at? You think I'm crazy, but again, there's people with buy orders at $25,000 that never got filled. There's people with $30,000 buy orders that haven't been filled. I'm not saying we're going to go up forever. I'm saying sitting on the side expecting a correction is all well and good. But if we go up 10% and come down 10%, we're still going to be higher than we are today. Just bear that in mind. Okay, let me move on. That is enough of my Bitcoin preaching. Remember, I'm not sponsored by Bitcoin. These are just my opinions, and they are nobody else's opinion, and I keep them to myself, except when I talk to you guys. So the next article is about the AI token. So Vitalik explains how AI can enhance security and efficiency on Ethereum. He said that AI could help solve the blockchain network's biggest technical risk. Now, again, one of the articles we covered some months ago was how AI should be able to help us trade. And I don't mean give us buy and sell orders. I mean trade in terms of carrying out the transactions or transfers, sending money to your friends, sending money to your family. Those kind of transactions where you have a personal AI bot in your wallet that remembers who your friends are, remembers who your family are, remembers what exchanges you're on, all those kind of things. And then you'll just be able to type in, send $20 of Bitcoin to my brother. And the AI will know where your brother's wallet is and connect up. Then you will be able to have a trusted wallet network where AI will know multiple different nodes, multiple different wallets, because that's your trusted, that's your trusted family circle, if you like. And AI will be clever enough to know if those wallets have been hacked. AI will be able to do an awful lot in the future. So it can be a force of good. Of course, it's going to replace jobs, and that's a bad thing. But jobs have been replaced for the last 700, 800 years. Farming jobs have been replaced. Manufacturing jobs have been replaced. And we will find different careers for people. And in crypto is very new. Finding vulnerabilities in contracts, finding vulnerabilities in networks should be the job of AI, because AI has a better eye than the average developer. And AI can highlight the issue and work side by side with you, with developers, whatever it might be, to make it a better place. So several tokens in the sector: Singularity.net, Ajax, Protocol, the Graphs, GRT, and FET. Of course, I'm not going to go over it again. Singularity and FET are my personal two picks. I think they're going to do exceptionally well. That doesn't mean the other tokens aren't going to do well either. The entire market of AI is going to pump. So Butterin says, right now Ethereum's biggest technical probability is bugs in code, and anything that could significantly change the game on that would be amazing. His remarks come in the wake of his recent exploration of the synergy between AI and crypto, detailed in his blog post on January the 30th. He pointed out that integrating AI could revolutionize crypto systems. While recognizing AI integration's functionality and safety enhancements, he urged caution, especially in high value and high risk. Beyond Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, and others have explored AI solutions. I know a couple of exchanges now have started to launch their own AI help desk, help center, which can do a little bit more than just answer the questions in standard replies. They can do a little bit more than that. And I think over time, you'll be able to contact AI at the exchange you're on and say, listen, my transaction has disappeared. You'll be able to give AI that transaction. The AI will find it, search the blockchain, find the relevant information, then hand it over to a human being to then release it to you. So AI isn't going to replace necessarily everybody, but it's going to replace a lot of the groundwork that needs to be done. So it's never going to be something that's going to go away. We have to accept AI. Don't watch Terminator if you don't like AI. That's a terrible film that'll give you nightmares. An AI security report can take away from, a developer from fixing a really annoying bug, because the security issue is always more important than bugs. If the report turned out to be crap, we did not improve security, we missed out on time on fixing bugs or developing a new feature. This is very true. So AI is here to stay. It is going to be integrated. There is, should I say, going to be a lot of development around AI. I've talked before on here about the gaming industry, and Web3 is perfectly placed to bring AI into a game and create completely unique games based solely on the individual. And that's how AI can change gaming. It can change crypto, as I said before, about creating a secure environment for people to operate in. It can help with customer support. AI is going to be a benefit, and more of a benefit than a negative, in my opinion. Now, one of the coins that, again, I've held now for, well, ever since launch is SUI. SUI is one of those chains that has potential. I made a very good video about it. It was very well received. SUI has a really clever team behind it, and they are building out a really good system. But adoption is needed. With all of these new chains, whether it be Celestia, Sei, SUI, some of the new ones, it needs adoption. If nobody uses the network, it's dead in the water. And that's a key for me. Now, they've recorded $600 million total value locked on their chain. The new market data from decentralized finance on-chain analytics firm DeFi Llama, we've covered DeFi Llama on here before, shows an uptick in volumes from different metrics in the Layer 1 network. TVL on SUI soared to $600 million with a 24-hour volume of 60 million. I mean, this is tiny. This is still absolutely tiny. If you look at volume by network, this isn't, it's nowhere. I mean, Cardano, Solana, Ethereum blows it out of the water. This remarkable rise in TVL comes as the network started the year at $211 million before posting massive inflows in that period. In the last 30 days, SUI has recorded 310 million in TVL after it previously tapped 6,000 transactions per second in December. And again, this is what we want to see. We want to see transactions. Transactions equals usage. And that's what we need, especially for a newer chain like SUI. I think SUI only started in June last year, maybe July. It's very new. The SUI network has moved past near Aptos and Cardano in terms of TVL. Now, it hasn't passed Cardano. Cardano's TVL is calculated in a different way, so don't be fooled by that. SUI has regained momentum after the token plunge following reports of supply manipulation, which the team denied. I remember we commented on this at the time as well, and this almost made me sell my bag of SUI, but I held in there. In addition, the SUI Foundation has and remains committed to cooperation with the DAXA and its member exchanges in the spirit of full compliance and transparency. The circulating supply schedule displayed in the website and available through public API endpoints is accurate. So the token rebounded during the inscription craze last year and saw lots of activity because of the high speed of the SUI network and the low transaction fees. Remember, SUI also signed a good partnership with a South Korean gaming developer. They're going to be bringing games to SUI. So at the minute, for me, SUI falls into potential rather than deliverables. It has potential. It doesn't necessarily have deliverables at the minute. So the price is $1.81 at the minute. SUI price has absolutely rocketed. So again, I'm not saying don't buy SUI. I'm saying go and do your own research on it. Go and watch some videos about SUI and go and decide if it's for you. All I can say to you is when I did the video, it's very quick. It's built exceptionally well. The entire team, I believe, is from Meta. Is it from Meta, I think? They are top brains, and I've got a good feeling about it. But like I say, it's not in the same ballpark as more established chains. It's not in the same ballpark as Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano yet. Give it 5 years, and it may very well be. So go and check them out. I'm not going to go and tell you to buy the token. I'm never going to do that. But it has got a lot of potential. Maybe wait for a retracement. I'm trying not to do as many prices today as normal. It's 11:33. We're doing really well. We've got 12 minutes to go before the quiz. And like I say, I'm trying to do the show within the hour or an hour and 5 minutes. Now, this is bullish news for the entire crypto industry, not just for one, not just for one chain. Now, what I am going to do before I go any further, I'm going to drop a very quick box. Give me 1 minute. I'll drop this, and then we will carry on. And then after this article, before we read the final article, I am going to tell you a little bit about tomorrow night's AMA. But I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm just going to give you some idea of what we're going to go through, what we're going to talk about. There we go. Let's just ban a few people while we're here. There we go. Okay, you should now have a box. Perfect, it's worked. So the Japanese cabinet has approved crypto assets for investment by VC firms. Great news for Japan, but also great news for the industry. So it's approved the inclusion of cryptocurrencies among the assets that local investment limited partnerships, LP firms, can acquire or hold. In a move announced by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry on Feb 16th, VCs engaged in crypto now have regulatory clarity The change is aimed at bolstering the strategic investment environment and providing enhanced support for local startups and medium-sized businesses. Hiro Kunimitsu, that sounds about right. The founder and CEO of Gummy Inc., a Japanese game development firm with blockchain investment fund, Gummy Crypto's Capital, highlighted the significance of the development. He pointed out, until now, Japanese crypto projects were compelled to seek funding from foreign VCs, a process fraught with obstacles. The ability of Japanese VCs to invest in crypto assets is expected to create substantial opportunities for the burgeoning Web3 startup scene in Japan. And Japan has got one of those attitudes to crypto, which is very positive. And if they're going to do it, they want to dominate. So they've built out their own metaverse. They want this metaverse to be the metaverse of everything that everybody uses. And part of that is, of course, to allow their own companies to build crypto projects. To do that, they need funding. VC firms in Japan investing in their own products and their own companies is just a natural progression. Now, again, 2 years ago, I think it was about 2 years ago when we started this channel, I did not think I would be sitting here talking about a Bitcoin ETF. I did not think I would be talking to you about presidential candidates in America discussing whether they're pro or anti-Bitcoin. I didn't think we'd be talking about Japan opening up the doors for VC firms to invest in crypto businesses, or the Japanese Minister of Tech to go onto an NFT conference in Japan and talk about the future of Japan and the metaverse. That's in a 2-year period. In 2 years, we have gone from being mocked, being called all kinds of names, used by unsavory characters to do things, and we've come such a long way, and that's in 2 years. In 2 years' time, where are we going to be? Are we going to hear the American president say the word Bitcoin? Are we going to see CBDCs being rolled out, which aren't great, I know, but they are part of the transition from physical to digital, the final transition, if you like. So this is great. This is great news for everybody. This is great news for Japan. It's great news for the industry. We need crypto-friendly jurisdictions. We don't want special favors. I say this all the time. We don't need special legislation. What we need is a fair playing field. That's what we need. We cannot have a situation where, oh, it's crypto, it's not allowed. Well, that's not how business works. It's discrimination for a start, and it's something that I think just requires education and a mindset. And we're getting there, but we need patience. We all want a $1 million Bitcoin. We all want to see a $20 trillion asset class, but we just need the time for everybody to catch up. That's what we need to do. So before we go into this, as I said, on Wednesday, we are going to have another live show in which we will be giving away $50 worth of tokens live on the show. We will give you all of the details of the project. We're going to have an AMA with their CTO, I believe. We're going to talk about their project. We're going to go through the white paper. We're going to ask the questions that you want us to ask. If you've got questions, you can ask in chat. We then have a very simple task for you to do to take part in the giveaway. And then at the end of the show, after the AMA, when Scott has left, we will be doing the Crypto Warehouse Wheel of Fortune, where we will spin the wheel and pick out 5 lucky winners who are all going to win crypto. So that's what's happening on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central European Time. It's already in the calendars. So wherever you are watching, it is in the calendars. I'm not going to say more about it than that, because I don't want to take too much time out of the show. But bear in mind, this is one of those giveaways where we need your support. We need you to turn up as much as you want to win the crypto, as much as you want to win the prizes. You need to help. You need to basically turn up and participate, because we want to show this company how much, you know, we can bring to the table. So that's all I'm going to say about it. It's in the calendar. Make sure to go and check it out. Now, very briefly, let me go through this article. And I think the more of these shows that we do, the more of this kind of content I want to include, because there's a lot of people coming to crypto, especially newcomers to crypto, and we cover things as well as doing the charts, as well as doing the articles. Advice, I think, is the next big thing, and we've covered how to do research. We've covered CoinMarketCap yesterday. Today, we're going to go through the 10 common mistakes traders do in a crypto market. Now, is that going to be big enough to fit now? If I do that, is that going to fit? That should hopefully fit. I'm just waiting for everything to refresh. Almost. So the crypto industry is poised for another bull run in 2024 to 2025. One might feel a bit out of shape during the crypto winter. CoinMedia's report on how to avoid the biggest common mistakes. The crypto bull run has appeared where there's a significant increase in various cryptocurrencies we know. Now then, here we go. Let's see which ones of these we agree with. Emotional buying due to FOMO is absolutely number one. Absolutely number one. We talked about this yesterday when we were talking about how much you should invest in meme coins, how much you should invest in highly speculative projects. And I was saying that you need to take 1% of your portfolio at most and divide it amongst speculative picks. That's it. We've seen people make $100,000 in meme coins and AI tokens, and then put that entire $100,000 straight into another AI project or another speculative project, and then they've lost $90,000. That's the problem. If you go into a casino with $100 in your pocket and you are $180, $250 up in your pocket, you take the $100 that you walked in with, you put it somewhere else, you hide it, and then you play with the house money. It's what you should be doing, at least. So emotional buying due to FOMO is the biggest one of all. We try and tell you on the show, if a price goes up by 200% in 3 days, buying at that price is the wrong time. That's the wrong time to buy it. You buy it before the pump. The second thing to remember is there's always going to be another cryptocurrency. If we say on this channel, we are not going to recommend WorldCoin, we are not going to recommend Pepe, we are not going to recommend this, and it goes up 500%, we haven't lost any sleep on that, because we're not going to buy it, and we're telling you what we're buying, not what you should buy. But we're telling you our opinion. We don't like a project, we're going to say we don't like a project. And there's always going to be another one. There's always going to be another project that comes along that you will catch. And if we review that project, we think it's a great project, we're going to say to you, listen, we're personally going to go and buy this project, and we're going to hold it for a week, for a month, for a year, for the bull run. That's what we will do. So emotional buying due to FOMO is absolutely the number one thing, and you have to take emotion out of the game. If you started with $10,000 and you get to the peak of the bull run and you've got $100,000 in your pocket, you should be selling 80% of your portfolio to fiat, to cash. So by the end of next year, you should have about 80% of your portfolio in cash. This is what I'm doing. Because at some point, there's going to be a major correction, and traditionally it's been 60%. So if you hold 80%, and there are tokens you don't want to sell, I get that. And potentially I might not sell all of my Bitcoin. I'm starting to rethink my strategy on Bitcoin, but other coins I've not. Is you sell down to fiat, you wait for the correction, and you come back in. That's what you should do. What you shouldn't do is take your $100,000 and then sell it all and then buy another $100,000 worth of tokens at the peak, because you'll be sitting at a 95% loss for a year and a half, 2 years. So FOMO, absolutely number one. Number two, my advice to everybody watching, do not go anywhere near leverage. Don't do it. Don't 10x, don't 20x. Mags, you've already registered. Brilliant. Yowza, thank you for coming over. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And Wednesday night will involve you being subscribed. I'm not going to give anything else away than that. It's supposed to be a surprise. But thank you for coming over. Greatly appreciate it. We are trying to get to 100,000 as soon as we possibly can, because we then sound a little bit more legitimate than we do at 96,000. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit like one of those things. If you've got 1 million followers, you sound massive. If you have 100,000 followers, you sound established. It's just the way the world works. So over leveraging, I do not recommend that to anybody watching now. If you are new to crypto, don't do it. The one exception is that you can buy long and short tokens on exchanges. So you can get a Bitcoin 3L and a Bitcoin 3S, and that is a 3x long and a 3x short, but it's a token, so you don't get liquidated. That is the only exception I will make. And if you want me to make a video about 3L and 3S tokens, drop a comment or reach out to me and I will make a video. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Rich people can mainly start rich. Rich people tend to be lucky. If they're rich in crypto, they're either very, very clever or they're very, very lucky. But for every one rich person in crypto, there's 500 people, 1,000 people struggling to try and make it or have lost it all from leveraging. So don't think you can beat the market. Leveraging is not something I'll recommend. Risk management, I talk about this all the time in my videos. I've made a $15,000 portfolio video today for the OG members. It's basic. 60-40, 60% in Ethereum and Bitcoin, 40% in other layer 1 and layer 2s in the top 50. 8 tokens maximum. Risk management. If you want to go and play against the house with meme coins or AI speculation or gaming speculation, take 1%. If you have a $10,000 portfolio, take $100 and go and play it. Go and play against the house, because 9 times out of 10 you will lose. You're hoping that that one is going to 100x, but you will be left with 99% of your portfolio to make it to the next level. Chasing the hype is very much like FOMO. Don't do that. We talk about chasing tornadoes on the channel. What we mean by chasing tornadoes is that you just rush in and you buy the hype of a project, and you're always buying the hype from crypto influencers, and they're the people that have been given bags of these coins to help, to tell them to promote. And what do? They go to you and say, listen, this is going to 1,000x. Your $1 today is going to be $1,000. Come and buy this token. You pile in, you buy those tokens, and every single influencer and everyone associated with that project sells you that token at $1, and then 3 months later it's at 5 cents, and you're left with those bags. And then you go back to the influencer and say, you told me to buy this token, and they'll just say, yeah, but you need to do your own research. That's not financial advice. That's what they do time and time again, and they dump on you from a great height. Not all of them. I'm not saying every single crypto influencer does that, but don't watch a video in which they tell you it's going to do this. Watch it, do correct risk management as it says up here, and if that token is up 500% already, don't do it. Exit strategy, we spoke about this yesterday, I've just mentioned it. You need to sell at the peak, and as far as I can gather, I think it's going to be November or December next year. That's when traditionally we will spike. So that's my exit strategy. November, December next year, I'm going to be starting to slowly dollar cost average out of crypto. No diversification. Again, I was just saying before, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't go and buy one crypto. If for whatever reason you have to buy one crypto, make sure it's Bitcoin. If you have to. If your life depended on it, you buy Bitcoin, but you should have 8 to 10 tokens in your portfolio. Some people prefer 15, some people prefer 20. That's fine if you know what you're doing. You shouldn't have a portfolio of 100, in my opinion. Too many projects to keep an eye on. You don't know what's happening. You don't know if there's bad news about them. It's impossible to track. So try and stay between 8 and 12. Not taking profit on intervals. Again, nobody went bust taking profits. Remember that. If you are 500% up on a project, take 250% off the table. Now, there is a caveat to this. In the bull run, when everything is going up every week, there's still going to be slight corrections, but on the whole, it's up and to the right. I am not going to be taking any profits probably from June until June next year, July next year. For that year, I'm just going to let it ride. If you're in a token that had a $50 million market cap and now it's at a $500 million market cap, take your profits out of that. If you've got Chainlink, if you've got AVAX, if you've got Optimism or Arbitrum or anything in the top 20 or 30 and it's riding up and it's riding up, if it has its own blow off top and it's up 1,000%, you should take profits. But in a bull run, I'm personally not going to be doing that. Again, another thing which is similar to do your own research, don't buy the tokens I like. Buy the tokens you like. As I said yesterday on the stream, if you cannot explain to me in one sentence what that project does, then you haven't done enough research on it. That is absolutely critical. If you get in a lift with me and we're going to the 5th floor in the elevator, can you explain what that token does to me in the time it takes that elevator to go up 5 floors? That's what you've got to ask yourself. Can you do that? If you can't, and you're holding a token that you don't understand and you bought it because the price pumped, you're going to be equally as confused when the price drops. So buy a token after you've done your research, and I'm not going to show you now, we're going to run out of time. I'm going to show you again, probably tomorrow, how to go and do your own research. Poor security, again, you're watching this on an exchange more than likely. My advice, if you're a beginner, which differs to everybody else's advice, is the 2 exchanges that we are streaming on today are both top tier exchanges. You need to make sure you've got 2-factor authentication, anti-phishing turned on, your mobile phone connected, a decent password. If you have all of those things, it's very difficult for people to get hold of your money on these exchanges. What I also do on some exchanges is I will lock my Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever into, not Bitcoin, but Ethereum or Cardano. I'll lock it into staking, on-chain staking through that exchange. That requires a 3, 5, 7 day unlock. So if I am compromised, my Ethereum is locked away on-chain staking. My Solana is locked away on-chain staking. That takes days to get out, not minutes. So that's an even more secure way of holding your crypto on the exchange that you're on. Overbuying, again, don't put your mortgage on crypto. Don't remortgage your house to buy crypto. Have a rule. If you have $500 of disposable income a month, you should be taking maybe $100 of that and putting it into crypto, not $500. You should always look at stocks and shares. You should always look at alternative ways to invest. If you have a mortgage, maybe overpay your mortgage by $100 a month and buy crypto with the other $100 a month, because over time, your mortgage will come down more significantly than if you didn't, and your crypto holdings will go up substantially over the bull run. It would be very easy for me to say, if you've got $50,000 in savings, put it all into Bitcoin, wait 3 years and you'll have $250,000. It'd be very easy for me to say that, but that's not conducting risk management. I've only got about 10% of my net worth in crypto. And the reason for that is I don't want to be tied down to everything. My house is worth 4 times what I have in crypto at this moment in time, because it's property. I have office space, I have storerooms, I have things like that. I also have stocks and shares and things as well. So crypto, much as I love it to death, you shouldn't be all in on crypto, because you don't know what could happen. There could be a massive black swan that wipes billions and billions and billions off the crypto market, and you've lost everything because you've done that. So overbuying is as bad as FOMO. It's as bad as not having diversified. It's as bad as not having good security. So overall, this is an excellent list of things that you should keep an eye on. So that is that. What we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the quiz, because that's what we do. And we are on time today. We are on time. Brogan did simple signals last night. He's got to get the timing right. I think it was like an hour and a half. It was a long show. He needs to get that down to about an hour, just for his own, keeping his own energy levels up. But he's getting there. He's getting there. And some of his trades are, well, most of his trades are absolutely spot on. I've made a fair few quid out of Brogan this week. And we do have a little, we have not a wager, but if we are up, whatever we're up by on the trade, I give him 25% of my profits, just to thank him for his efforts. So that's how we roll. Now, I'm going to restart the app. We're going to ask some quiz questions. If you're new here, welcome to the show. We stream every day at 11 a.m. Wednesday night, we will be doing our AMA, which is already in the calendar. We will also be doing simple signals maybe on Friday as well. So keep an eye out for that. In addition, we are live from the studio on Saturdays. So make sure you tune in on a Saturday. You get to see our pretty faces. What more could you ask for? Right, let me... Again, I leave the chat for 5 minutes, and back come these spammers that just spam away, constantly typing absolute nonsense into chat and ruining it for everybody. Okay, first question then. Again, it's the same question I ask every day. And I'm going to keep asking this question until we get 50 correct answers, and we never have, believe it or not. Maybe it's because the first question I ask is this question. Who knows? Okay, so the first question is, we've been talking a lot about Bitcoin at the start of the show. When is the Bitcoin halving? What month is the Bitcoin halving? I've given you both answers in the question. Is it April or June? Is the Bitcoin halving in April or June this year? Now remember, you have to type just the word with a capital A or a capital J. If you type anything else, you won't win. Now I need 50 correct answers today. I need you to do me a favour. Get 50 correct answers. Stop the insanity of being asked this question. The Bitcoin halving, April or June? Only 17 so far. 20. That's going to be another day, isn't it? It's going to be another day of asking this question tomorrow. 24 correct answers. Absolutely. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. I hope when I look at these correct answers, it's most of the OGs. Because if some of the OGs have got this wrong, I'm going to personally come round and sort them out. Okay, 31. 31. How can you not know this? 31. So the Bitcoin halving is in April. April this year. So tomorrow, I'm going to ask the same question. This is like going to school. You need to do your revision for tomorrow. Oleg got it right. Mahmood Warmaster C. Adil is in chat. Good morning to you both. Elro, Cyberpunk Danny is here. Sonia, Giannis, Sub-Zero, Elder Mooney, and Mags. Congratulations. Now, what we are going to be working on over the next few weeks is we're going to try and get an assistant to come in and monitor chat. So when you ask a question in chat, they can refer that question to us. Because at the minute, it's a bit like, you know those one-man bands that sit there and they bang the drums and the tinsels and they blow the harmonica and they honk the horn and all that kind of thing? It's a little bit like that where we're trying to do several jobs at once, and it's not that easy. So I think we're going to try and find an assistant to come in and basically monitor chat, refer the questions to us. Maybe we'll start to do a Q&A, those kind of things. Because, when we first started, we didn't have so many spam messages in chat, and I could have proper conversations with Fran, with Andy, with Tariq, people like that. And I can't anymore because the spam is just ruining the chat. So then, Solana. Is Solana a layer 1 or a layer 2? Is Solana a layer 1 or a layer 2? Now, actually, while we're here, one thing to bear in mind, this white line here is resistance. It's at 52.5. I think I'm a little bit wrong on that. I think it's more there, 52.4. 52,400 is the line of resistance that we have to break. And if you've noticed, if I go to a shorter time frame, you will see just how much we are trying to get above it. Now, at some point, it will break, but that's where we are at the minute. So is Solana a layer 1 or a layer 2? Put your answer into chat. 41 correct answers so far. And remember, if you're new here, smash the like button. We are only on 16,000 likes. Smash the like button. Follow us everywhere. All of our links are in the description below. 46 if you got that one right. That's much better. Much better. Adil again. Elro. Ibrahim. Freya. Congratulations. Oleg. Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop reading some of these names out. I'm gonna start asking a few more questions because we're running out of time. As I said, I'm trying to do the show about 10 minutes faster than normal just because I don't want to keep you too long on a day. So, never asked this question before, might catch a few of you out. Bonk, B-O-N-K. Is Bonk a meme coin or is Bonk a utility token? Is Bonk a meme coin or a utility token? What do you think the answer is to that? Is Bonk a meme coin or a utility token? Coming up to it again, 52.3. 52.3. I'm not sure we're going to break it at this time. And if we do, I don't think we're going to hold it. But 52.4 is the line we need to break. I haven't drawn any channels for a while because I can't really see any that we're in. We run a channel way down here, but right at the minute, we're just moving up. And again, I talk about this a lot. About going up in steps, and that's the best way for us to be going up. Much as we don't like corrections, it's the best way to do it. So this is much more like it. 63 of you got that one right. Absolutely brilliant. MD, Cern, Sean, congratulations. Fanny Khan is back. Don't know why, but that name just rolls off the tongue. Chani, user, congratulations. Well done to you all. 63 of you got that right. Bonk is indeed a meme coin. Somebody said something in French. I hope it's not a swear word. I hope you were nice to me. Okay. Don't put links into chat, by the way. If you put links into chat, I'll block you and you will not be able to take part in the quiz. Right then, last question. Last question of the day. And this is an easy one. All you got to do is put the answer into chat and you've won. And I will go, and I've already made a video today for the OGs. I've made the $15,000 portfolio video. I'm going to make another video this afternoon. Don't know what I'm going to make it on yet, believe it or not. I'm not like one of these people who can say, I'm going to make these 10 videos over the next 2 weeks. I don't know, because crypto isn't, it's not, it's a bit too quick. It's not stoic and slow. It's too quick for me to decide 3 or 4 days in advance what video I'm going to make them about. So I'm going to make a video today, but I am going to try and I'm going to try and do a video every day this week. That's what I'm going to aim for. Now, I'm already 2 days in and 2 videos up. So if I can get another one done today, I've got ahead of myself. 40 people have got this right. Plenty of time to go. Remember, the record is 138 correct answers. We're a long way from that, but that was in the summer last year. 52,390. We are right at the door of this 52,4. We are right at the door. Look at that. Oh. One day, by the way, I will learn how to use TradingView. If you come here expecting Jason Casper-esque charts, you've got another thing coming, because that ain't going to happen on my watch. I can barely hold a mouse. Okay, so Adil, congratulations. Freya again. Cyberpunk Danny, congratulations. Arid. That's far too difficult to pronounce that name. Ruruni. Sean, well done. Jace. Okay, right. That is it for the show. War Master C, congratulations. Tariq is here. Hello, Tariq. Nice of you to come back to the stream again. So we're back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm going to make another video. You know what? We might get above this 52.4 line. We might get above it. But if we don't, you know what happens. So we do that. But I'm not expecting that to happen this time. I am expecting us to go up. So, thank you, everybody. Take care. I will see you all in the morning. And I will drop a quick box now before I go. Hello, Tariq. I caught your message.